Braddock was always declining ever since I remember. Ever since I was a kid. It boomed in the 1920s at 20,000. By the late 1950s, when I was going to school, it was already down to about 12. My name is Tony Buba. I'm a documentary filmmaker. I was born in Braddock right before World War II in 1943. My dad, when he came back from World War II, was full-time in the mill. He had 40-some years before he retired. Braddock was always an integrated community, unlike some of the other mill towns, but it was also segregated within that integration because most of the African-American population lived in an area called the Bottom, which is down by the mill. You look down, there's the mill, it's just spewing. Through the history of the mill, African Americans were always discriminated against. They always had the worst paying jobs, plus the worst working conditions. Working in the coke area, a working area where there's a lot of cancer and a lot of lung disease.
They called them man-killing jobs. They were basically doing the work that they would not dare send a human being in to do because you were breathing in things that would actually just kill you later on. My name is Isaac Bunn, and I'm a resident of Braddock, PA. My family in Braddock dates back generations. My grandfather, great-grandfather, father worked in the steel mills. They migrated from the South to gain employment. I remember stories that they would tell me. It was bigger than downtown Pittsburgh. It was populated with businesses and movie theaters, and I mean, you didn't have to go out of the town because with steel workers, they all came into the communities. There was high-end things. It must have been something to see.
What happened in the late 50s and mid-50s, what whites did is they ended up moving into this newer housing and the suburbs were being built. African-American families, even though working in the mill and making enough money to buy one of those homes, couldn't get the loan, where a white worker could get the loan. African-Americans bought homes in Braddock. And once they start moving into Braddock, then white flight started taking place, so the composition started changing.
When I was coming up, it was in the phase where the mills were leaving. White flight was already probably at its end. It was just abandonment, neglect, and the plumes of smoke. These things have been flowing in the air for generations. You didn't know or understand the effects that it would have on your body later on.
My family has just been a lot of cancer. My brother, my cousins, my mother. There's like 6 people out of 10 or 12 of us. So it's like half people gotten cancer. I mean, what is that? My dad put a notice down at the employment office not to hire me because he never wanted us to work in the mill, me or my brother. When I went to college, because I was one of the few people from a working class background that was in film school, in some ways I filled a void. I just started doing these short pieces.
Braddock, where have you gone?
I had images of working people on the screen.
I remember when I was a boy.
And what I wanted to do was make the films stand by themselves, but then also you could play them together over the years and see this 40 or 50-year arc of one community, this change of what has happened. The mill was there, and it's always a character, but have this sort of deafening sound.
All of my life, this constant sound, the sound of the mill. And the sad part about it is not everyone who gave their lives to be a part of it can benefit from it. My father, to me, it just seemed like he was always at work. When he retired from the mill, he didn't have much time to enjoy his retirement because At that point, it became a struggle to survive. Hospitals, oxygen machines. It's a slow, painful way to leave the earth after working all those years.
My dad, he retired at 63. He lived to be 82. A lot of African-American men retiring at 63 only lived to be 66 or 67. Whites with a little bit more money maybe lived up on the hill, so he didn't quite get all as much as the people that lived down by the mill. These are things that, the people just don't think about it long term and what happens. Everybody works hard, but you have that advantage of being a white male in a society at that period of time. And there's things that drive me crazy with the white community that just they don't look at, oh, we all grew up equal. They think, no, we didn't grow up equal.
What I like about Braddock is that it's a place where my family has been for generations. But for me, it was just about survival.